Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now to continue our intranet series using SharePoint Online, we are on part 4. In today's video, I'm going to be guiding you guys primarily through the navigation setup and how to make your navigation stand out and look as crisp as it could. Right, so since we are using a communication site, there is no way we can have an horizontal navigation. So again, if you want a intranet with an horizontal navigation, like for example here on the left side, then you may have to choose the team site, right? But if it's fine for you to keep it on the top, then a communication site is the way to go, right? So as you can see here, I've included a navigation on top. Now there is a difference. As you can see here now, these headings and navigation points are sort of separate from each other, right? So there is that. There is a company wiki with some sub parts, some sub navigation parts included within it, right? So you could also go change the look of how you want the navigation to look, right? So if you want to go with a mega menu, for example, because you only have 2, once we hit save, right, then it will look very different, right? So when we click on, or when we hover the mouse over company wiki, it will show us something like this, right? So you have the main point, which we had before that, below one each other, and then you have the sub points just below that, right? So you could build an entire structure using either this layout or the first layout I've shown, depending on whichever one suits you more, right? So for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to be keeping it nice and simple. I'm going to stick with my previous layout. Right, so how do you basically set up your navigation? Right, on the top, you see there is an edit button, right? When you click on that, it will open up the navigation edit or the edit navigation, right? And this is where you basically are able to create a thorough navigation for your intranet page. Yeah. So the way I've done it here, I've just for the purpose of this exercise, I've included the home button and put in some sublinks, right? So whenever you click on an entry right here in the navigation edit, it will say promote to sublink. So if I promote this one, for example, to sublink, it becomes a sublink of let's say backend or whatever, right? And I could also um, make it only a sublink, so it could go become a sublink of backend. Yeah. So there is a few things you could choose to do in order to make the structure suit your needs, right? Again, there may be a few parts where you need to have multiple substructures or sublinks, right? So for example, within the company wiki, right? So there is a few main parts up here, then there is documentations, and then there is some sublinks right there. So IT manuals, development manuals, sales manuals, and whatever. And now, before I delve into company wiki, generally you could use any tool available for that. You could also just simply choose to add new pages within your already existing intranet and just change those pages to documenting pages and document all the things you want to document and include them within your wiki, or you choose something like Confluence or Notion. There is a whole lot of tools you can choose to do or to utilize for this task, right? So that's basically how you build your navigation. Now, there is also a difference in entries you can make. So if I just include an entry, right? So we're going to go with the plus. When you click on plus, now bear in mind, you can do this anywhere, right? Wherever you see plus, it will allow you to make an entry. Keeping in mind that it will always take the property of the above of the entry above it, right? So if I go company wiki and there is about us and I click on plus, yeah, and let's say just for the test and rename it test. You can also always specify to open a new tab, very useful. Then it will structure itself below company wiki. Now, if you don't want that, right, if you don't want it to be a sublink, you can either move it, right, by literally drag and drop, or you can just go on the bottom and just put in a new one in. And there is also a difference. There is two different things. You can add a label or you can add a link, right? Obviously, a link will lead you to another page, and a label is simply an header, sort of like a header which you put in there, and you can include sublinks below that label, for example, right? Or it could be a space holder for future adjustments which you may are making currently or whatever. So that's another thing you have with creating navigations for intranet using SharePoint. Now, another note to take here is that your navigation, which you created on your landing page, right, will subsequently inherit to any other page created, right? So we're going to be creating a new page. So how to create a new page? Very simple. You click on new, and as you can see, there is different options, and you just click on page. And when you click on page, it will show you free page templates. You can just use whatever. You can also create a page template, right? So that's another thing you can do, but I'm not going to be going into detail on how to create a page template. We're just going to choose a blank page, create this page. So we created our page right here. And as you can see, it's nothing. It has nothing, no information, whatever. We're just going to put down test, new page. And we're going to leave it as it is. And once you hit publish, right, it is going to get published right now. Now the page is accessible for anyone who has the link, right, or anyone who has who can go to the site contents. So once created, it will again inherit the navigation on the top, which is one thing to note. Now, if you want to maybe include this page now in your navigation, right, you can do so by, again, clicking on Edit. And then when you want to choose, let's say the test page which you've just created is, or has to be, let's say, it's going to be a new page for within the company wiki, depending on where it should go, right? So if it's a sublink for documentation, you can put it there, or you could go with company wiki, just a sublink, and let's put down the link here. There it is. And let's say we're going to call it safety. We're just going to call it safety for the purpose of this exercise. And that's it. It's there. And when you hit save, it will show up in the company wiki under the navigation as safety. And that's basically how you create and make a navigation within your intranet on SharePoint Online. And this concludes our fourth video for this series. Again, I hope you guys found this so far helpful. If you have any suggestions or any tips or any advices, do put them down in the comment section. Again, if I've missed something or misquoted anything, do let me know down below in the comment section. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Take care of yourselves, and until next time.